Alrighty guys, we're back for Selesnya Humans, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. How about the new humans packed in? Well, we got 4 Surrak, Elusive Hunter. It's a 3 mana 4/3 legendary creature. Still got all 4 of them in here though, because I do think it's going to be that good. So this spell can't be countered, has trample, and whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Awesome stuff. How about Voice of Victory? All 4 of these as well. It's a 2 mana 1/3 with Mobilize 2. Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Yeah, okay, that should come in handy. We got 4 Dragon Snipers as well. 1 green mana 1/1. Vigilance, Reach, Death Touch. Okay. How about Descendant of Storms? It's a 1 mana 2/1. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 1 and a white. If you do, it endures 1. Okay, that's a lot of new humans to try out in a human build, but why even put humans together to begin with? Well, Coppercoat Vanguard happens to still be a pretty decent card. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Each other human you control gets +1/+0 and has Ward 1. Awesome stuff, and not the only way to slap Ward onto our creatures. Sheltered by Ghosts making the cut as a 4 of. I think it's going to be excellent removal in here, and our main removal of choice. How about some other protection for our creatures outside of Ward? Yeah, we got all 4 Defend the Riders, which should do the thing nicely. Opting for Defend the Rider for the Hexproof and Indestructible, because I do love the idea of giving Indestructible to Dragon Sniper. It could be a pretty good combat trick at that point. Okay, how about some other humans packed in? We got a couple of Melira, the Living Cure, really just in here because it's a 2 mana 3/3 human, right? But it does have other abilities that I'm not going to take the time to go over right now. Got a couple King Darien. It's a 3 mana 2/3 legendary creature. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. And then it has a bunch of other abilities that could help us generate tokens or potentially protect those tokens that I'm just not going to take the time to go over right now. We got 4 Anointed Peacekeepers. It's a 3 mana 3/3 human cleric with Vigilance. As this creature enters, look at an opponent's hand, then choose any card name. Spells your opponents cast with the chosen name cost 2 more to cast. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. So with all the protection already packed into the build and then Anointed Peacekeeper coming down and calling something like Sunfall, I'm hoping we can protect our humans really nicely with this deck list. We do have some more card draw packed in with a couple Trash the Towns, but also has some other abilities that always come in handy too, so I think the 2 of Trash the Town should be excellent in here. Also, a couple Cavern of Souls is another reason to try out humans, more ways to get these humans onto the board and get around counterspells, huh? Outside of that, we're opting for fast land with all 4 Hushwood Verge. We got 4 Razorverge Thickets, and then we got a couple Fabled Passage in here too. What's the deck list split? Well, we're actually leaning towards white, and we are leaning towards white with the plains, but if you spread the Hushwood Verge and just consider a green source, then all of a sudden we're leaning green. But we're not really just considering the Verge a green source, especially with a couple Fabled Passage being able to grab the plains and the forest out anyways, just making that an excellent Selesnya dual land, hopefully. Okay, some honorable mentions. Audacity was in the build when I was doing the tests, and Audacity actually did a lot in those test games too, so I actually dropped it for Trash the Town because I wanted more card draw. Get Lost, of course. Sheltered by Ghost can be your spot removal of choice. I just think Sheltered by Ghost is going to be excellent in here regardless. Helen, Daring Traveler almost made the cut. Sigarda almost made the cut. On the top end is maybe like a 1 of. I did consider Brushland. I just don't know how greedy the mana base is actually going to be. And personally, I don't think it's going to be that greedy. Okay, guys, I do my dandies to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I'm expecting a lot, man. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be excellent, actually. Oh, entering match. There we go, there we go. So, I know, it's crazy. It's crazy of me to just assume it's going to be excellent, but I'm hoping for a lot here. Opponent goes first. No green source except for Cavern. So Defend the Rider's not happening. but I like the hand. I'm keeping this. Yeah. So Defend the Rider is just a dead card until we see an actual green source, but everything else is completely fine here. Storm Chaser's Talent. We might get to see why I said it's probably crazy to assume that it's going to be good, right? We might get to see that here in game one. If it's is it Quarry Steelcutter, we might be in incredible danger until we see that third mana maybe. And that third mana probably needs to be that green source. All right, hey, Hushwood Verge. There we go. Now we're talking, guys. All right, well, we might as well get the Verge down over Cavern. And Voice of Victory's a little better than the Living Cure right now. And then Anointed Peacekeeper needs to come down next turn, call Quarry Steelcutter, right? Probably. They probably like this trade, don't they? No, maybe they don't. I think I might like that trade. What we should have done was swung first and kept the 2 open to cheese the 2 through anyways, because then we could have paid the 2 to endure for the extra counter. We still took the risk into the swing because I don't think the opponent... Yeah, we didn't think the opponent would trade, and they didn't, so... Ren's Resolve, okay. Storm Chaser's Talent. Looks like they might not even have the Quarry Steelcutter yet. In other words, it probably would have come down over the Ren's Resolve. All right, Otter and Slickshot Show Off. We could go down to 11 here, or we could chump the 3. Probably not worth it. We're trying to do the aggro thing too. Okay, Defend the Rider. Let's call Human. Now we could go Living Cure and keep Defend the Rider open. Still thinking like Peacekeeper, and we might be able to call something like Monstrous Rage. This is one of those games when you're up against Slickshot Show Off. It'd be nice to have our creature with reach, you know? I mean, we could call Burst Lightning. Their top deck might not even be that great, so we might as well call the thing that they have, since that's just a bunch of land, right? Also, I mean, they could easily spend 3 for the Burst Lightning, but now we're kind of getting that kicker cost just out of the game. All right, I'm going to keep the Descendant of Storms as a chump blocker. We'll swing with the Voice. Yeah, again, we probably could have cheesed the 2 through on the Descendant, but last turn we took a lot of damage, so... And I don't really want to chump with the Peacekeeper if it comes down to a chump, which it easily could if they find like another Ren's Resolve off the top. Honestly, based on our hand, I wouldn't mind even more mana. I'd actually love to be able to get Peacekeeper number 2 down. Looks like they're going to grab that Ren's Resolve, yeah. Alright. They swing in the air for 1. We're safe for the turn, guys. More mana. Yeah, dude, I don't mind this. We really need something to take care of the Slickshot Show Off, but... I guess Sheltered by Ghost would have been much better off the top, but... Probably start with a swing. We have 2 Defend the Riders open right now. We're going to call Ren's Resolve with the other Peacekeeper, make them spend all their mana next turn for it. Alright, and we don't want to forget that Peacekeeper has Vigilance too. Okay, decline. That's right, the Endures happens before the blocks. So we would have, in that first swing with the Descendant, would have had to pay before anyways. So I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly. They take it down to 7. That's good news for us, man. Peacekeeper. Oh yeah, just a bunch of mana. That's what we like to see. Alright, Ren's Resolve. And Defend the Rider open. Alright, let's see it, opponent. Let's see it. So they can play their 5th. Ren's Resolve costs 4. So, oh, Opt. They start with an Opt. So now their Otters will be 3. So Defend the Rider, going to be a combat trick, I think, for the Indestructible. At that point, 3 mana Burst Lightning. If they do find another 1 mana card, like a Monstrous Rage, yeah, we could be in some serious danger here. I'm hoping it's just going to be 4 mana Ren's Resolve for the turn. 3 mana Burst Lightning. We could be in serious danger if that one card they found is a 1 mana card, and I don't think it's going to be unheard of at all for it to be a 1 mana card. Right, I'm going to keep the Defend the Rider for the Peacekeeper block. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So block, and this one is the Ren's Resolve, so that's the one that we want to protect, because they already played the Burst Lightning, or at least one of the Burst Lightning. Okay. Okay. Hexproof Indestructible. Yeah, I think we protect the one with the Ren's Resolve. Yeah, GG opponent. Wow. We only had 6 on the board, though. So we weren't quite there yet. Actually, they could have easily found it the next turn, right? Yeah, since we lost this Peacekeeper. 6 total on the board. They're at 7. We didn't have an open mana to generate Pilot or anything. We could have risked it. We could have risked a 1 Peacekeeper block to make sure we kept lethal on the board, right? Well, that's interesting, actually. Yeah, we could have risked it with 1 Peacekeeper block and then gave it indestructible. But it is a real risk when they got the Verge open and they opted. And they got that 1 card over here. And that 1 card could have been a Burst Lightning. So maybe protecting the one that was making Burst Lightning more expensive would have been the better play. There's a lot to think about there, man. There really is. That's one to maybe go back and rewatch, because I don't even think I played it well. Yeah. But we got there against, is it Corey Steelcutter? They missed the Steelcutter, but... Okay, opponent goes first. I like this hand. There's almost nothing to complain about when you have a Verge and you have one of the basics powering up the Verge. At that point, it's just like, it's a perfect start, you know? And it doesn't always line up that way with the Verge. Sometimes you get very punished with Verge. Or you only see Verge and then the opposite color in your hand. So for like Hushwood Verge, you see a couple of these and then you only have white cards to play. I'd say that happens a lot more than you would like, you know what I mean? I guess we'll go ahead and pause until the opponent shows up. All right, the opponent has arrived and they played a Battlefield Forge. We're going to start with the plains so we can actually curve out properly. Hopefully, Descendant, yeah, did not get picked up by like a Burst Lightning. That's good news. Okay, Elegant Parlor. All right, could be Boros midrange or Boros tokens or whatever we call that nowadays. Voice of Victory. I guess we start with the swing, but we're not going to endure, so I'm going to decline. Doesn't look like an Elspeth Smite. That's good news. Get the voice down. I guess we could have played voice before combat to prevent the Elspeth Smite too. But I also... Yeah, we could have started with voice. For sure that turn. Alright guys, let's get the Surrak down. Other words, it would have been King Darien if we were allowed keeping that board state. Okay, 4th. United Battlefront. Okay. They find a High Noon. Okay. So King Darien could still be good here. I like Voice and Defend the Rider. Yeah. Yeah, King Darien should be a surprise after we establish the voice. Yeah, Defend the Rider open now. Oh, Sunfall range. Alright. Gonna do our best here. See if they got anything on the stack. If they do, we're gonna draw even more. Oh, that was such a good turn. Oh, High Noon affects them too, guys. Alright, that's really good news for us. Go, 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 humans! Go, go, go! Oh, buddy. Down to 3. See what their one card is for the turn, because we could be in some serious danger here if it is Sunfall. Also, they have the 5 damage on the High Noon. That's not going to be enough now that they're at 3, though. They go Lightning Strike themselves. GG opponent. Oh, they gain the life back, though. Funny. That's funny, dude. I'm barely grasping Magic the Gathering right now. I apologize, guys, but we're getting there. That's good news. The deck knows what it's doing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if that was also their fun way of conceding, right? Going Lightning Helix to their own face, but then it's funny because the life gain comes into play first. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? After a couple great games, I might as well bring up the whole YouTube side of things, right? Oh, we go first? That's a lot of mana. Oh, I don't know about this one, guys. We might as well try it since the deck list has been doing so good, though, right? Yeah, guys, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link, too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, if you liked the video, we're going to go Descendant of Storms. Yeah, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, guys. All right. I like Trash the Town. We could swing, Trash the Town, draw, but I think it's better to establish a creature. The opponent's tapped out, so I'm just doing it now. I think it's a little better just to establish the Melira. Mardu colors, Bitter Reunion. Probably some Reanimator then, right? Let's see their discard. The Swamp. It's a Swampy Swamp, okay. We don't have too much information about the opponent's deck list, so I am scared of board wipes. Ooh, Surrak's good. Oh, man. Oh, man. Again, I think we established the creature, but the opponent's tapped out. I'm just playing it now. Let's just get it down, you know? At some point, I'm pretty sure the Endure will come in handy on the Descendant. We just have, we have a lot in hand that we're loving to play, so. 3 creatures on the board, and the opponent finds their 3rd, but it's not double white. And temporary lockdown wouldn't pick up the Surrak anyways, so. They do go Torch the Tower, we draw. All 4 for a good reason, huh? So the Living Cure does have that bottom ability, but it's definitely not worth it here. Also, it's a Dies ability, right? Yeah, when it's put into the graveyard this turn, and Torch the Tower exiles, so. Bitter Reunion on the Surrak. You monster opponent. Let's draw first. This is worth it. Because Bitter Triumph is, in fact, sending it to the grave. Definitely worthwhile. Oh, another one off the top, though. We have our 4th. Maybe now's the time to go a couple counters on the Surrak, get 6 through, and draw, reestablishing our hand. Wouldn't mind the Thicket, though, for the turn. Let's maximize damage. Again, the opponent's tapped out. We're just going to do it now. Oh, we have to target it twice. Opponent's down to 4. We draw 2. So keeping our hand nice and stocked up. Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty darn good, I would say. More Plains, not that great, but we might be able to successfully just get the Thicket down next turn. Elusive Hunter probably biting the dust here, but still keeping our hand stocked. Oh, holy cow, guys. They're going to have to double down. But the good news about the Virtue is they do gain life, so not good news for us, for the opponent. Look at our hand. Wow. All right, Coppercoat Vanguard. Cavern can call human. That'll help us get some of these greens down, too. probably just going to be Surrak number 2 and Vanguard, though, to give the Surrak ward. They have to target the Coppercoat Vanguard first, unless they want to pay extra for the Hunter. And either way, now that Surrak's back on the board, we're drawing every time they target. They find tap land, too. We do have lethal on the board state. We probably could have went voice... Okay, well, first of all, before combat here, we're going to try Voice of Victory. The other Vanguard's wild stuff. Okay, they can no longer cast anything, guys. Now we just swing for 7. There's no point in playing the Vanguard. Now that Voice is on the board. Chi-Chi opponent. Brutal, man. Brutal. I mean, our hand was just so stocked. All right. Let's rank up through gold, guys. The best way to rank up is accidentally. Just sitting down, just playing the game, not actually going for it. Well, only 20 minutes in. I guess we can... I guess. I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. Are we going to get punished for those victories, or are we going to keep the ball rolling? A lot of great synergies in the deck list, but mostly just like value creatures, you know? Okay, our green source can be Fable, or like the official green source, because Cavern also casts the Dragon Sniper. We go first, which is just like, it's just the best news in the world, man. All right, we keep this. There's like no reason not to keep this, right? And I guess we start by calling human. Show the opponent what they're up against, huh? Of course, it also could have just been plains to give them less information. Okay, they drop a tapped encampment. Crash the town, so we will need the official green source when it comes time. Yeah, I'm going to go Voice of Victory. And I think, unlike earlier, I think I'm now convinced that Voice before combat to get around Elspeth Smite is much, much better than just letting them drop the Elspeth Smite, right? So, okay, Voice is probably dead this turn. It's going to be a go for the throat. Yep, makes sense. So, Hushwood Verge, that's good news. Do we just dump the creatures, hope they don't temporary lockdown? Yeah, probably. Probably. And the Vanguard does affect combat, though. We definitely play that before combat. Other than that, it would be good practice to save the Dragon Sniper for a main phase 2. But as you guys notice, when the opponents are tapped out, I just go for it. I just dump things. Fabled Passage deck thinning is probably going to be very nice here. Oh, a couple map tokens. I'm not mad about that. Oh, a cut down would be terrible. Okay, Swift Spear. What on earth, bro? What on earth? Okay. Yeah, so Fabled Passage deck thinning for sure is going to be appreciated. And deck thinning before map tokens is good, but also, guys, we probably just want to keep Crash the Town open. Right? Probably. Let's see where they go. Decline. They might not block. Even so, 4 mana Trash the Town should be really good. So, here. Okay. Okay, here and here. There's a really loud noise outside, guys. Give me 1 second as I pause the recording while the opponent takes their turn. Okay, I had to go close my window. I'm sorry, opponent. I hope you weren't waiting too long for me here. Narev? Heart of the Storm was what they played. Okay. Okay, that's pretty legit. It blocks the Descendant. Oh, I guess we can endure on the Descendant. I'm sorry, opponent. Dude, I'm taking so long, and then I made them wait too while I closed the window. I feel bad. Yeah, we'll probably endure on the Descendant, get the other Dragon Sniper down too. Oh, I like Defend the Rider here, actually. Because we're probably going to need... Okay, hold up. Auto pay. Dude, look at that Descendant. Anyways, we're probably going to need protection against Mardu, right? I guess another Dragon Sniper. That's kind of what Dragon Sniper does. Now they're going to have a rough time swinging with the Heart of the Storm. War Leader's Call. Okay, okay. GG opponent. Yeah, wow, dude, the deck list is really doing the thing, huh? Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. All right, we're only 26 minutes in. I think we could easily get another 1 or 2 in. If we win the next game, we'll end on a high note and we'll go talk about it. If we lose the next one, we'll try another one. Unless, of course, it's a really long one. But either way, guys, I have to pause the recording again to go see what all the fuss was about outside real quick. Okay, we're good to go. Let's see if we get into that next game easy peasy. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Guys, if you're ever wondering why I'm like, oh, I gotta pause the recording and why I don't just like edit that stuff out, right? It's because my videos are just one take. So what you see is what you get for the deck list, right? So if you guys are ever wondering, like, why does he say pause the recording? Yeah, that's what I mean. I have a little button that pauses it. Okay. Oh, okay. The opponent goes first. We could easily get run over here, but I gotta try it because holy cow, the deck list is performing, huh? Ooh, Seasoned Vanguard. Oh yeah, buddy, we could really get run over with this one. All right. Hushwood Verge is totally fine, but also the Plains is fine, but also the Cavern is fine. We have so many options with land in each of these openings. Okay, Forest. I suppose Plains. Since we don't got to worry about counter spells right now. Voice of Victory. It might block well here, but Bunny Rabbit's Rock Sheltered by Ghosts. So, and Sheltered by Ghosts on the Quest Caller would be pretty bad. Be pretty bad news for us. It's going to be a top hatch recruit. Vanguard is actually going to get a good boost here, but we will be able to block the Quest Caller, which means they probably don't even swing with Quest Caller. 2 to bottom. Yep, we're getting through. We're going to let it go. Crash the town. Okay, so Anointed Peacekeeper's probably the best bet. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're in danger, man. We're in big danger. Hop to it, I guess, is what we end up choosing. It doesn't have to be something in their hand. We could also choose something else. Yeah, it's any card name, but yeah, we might as well choose what's in their hand to, at the very least, have a bit of a tempo play, making it so that way they can't play the hop to it next turn. No great swings, so we don't. Now, once King Darien's on the board, Voice of Victory swings into that board state a little bit better, but still not that great because they got double blocks for days thanks to the recruit. They call Bunny Rabbits on the Cavern. Oh, War Leader was their top deck. Oh no, dude. Oh, we're super dead. Not this turn, but like we're out of this, right? So +1/+1 would be the best bet. Yeah, that way they have like the best. Well, first of all, we block here. Now they're hop to it. They're going to be able to play it anyways with 5 mana next turn. This is a really good trade for us. Could take 11. Voice of Victory not doing too much right now. All right. All right, down to 2. Oh, a couple early dragon snipers would have been really good, right? Oh, man. Honestly, I mean, that's just such a good draw. If we blocked with voice last turn, yeah, they're going to get through regardless. Yeah, we might as well go King Darien to boost our other 2 creatures on the board too. Yeah, they're going to get the 2 through regardless because we just don't have enough blockers. And we'll let them swing for sure. 2 very different versions of Selesnya, but also these 2 versions of Selesnya kind of sort of doing a similar thing. And I always say it, you can't be mad at bunny rabbits, man. You can't be mad at the bunnies. Because it's just such a fun deck list. I gotta revisit bunnies soon. Oh man, it's been so long. What are some new cards that could make the cut in bunny rabbits? They might as well, I mean, any of those work. They go +1/+1, yep. Alright, so we have a great block with the Dragon Sniper. Again, a couple early Dragon Snipers could have been huge this game. Then we can, I guess it doesn't really matter. We chump the 2 biggest ones, then 4 gets through. Good game, opponent. I forget if I actually dropped the GGs. I always think about it towards the end, and sometimes I even hover over it, and then sometimes I forget. I'd say double GGs is better than no GGs, you know? Was that was the first loss of the deck list, right? Oh, yeah, we can totally end on a high note still, but I'm not even mad if we lose. One more, guys. The games are fast, too, so... If we're not winning fast, we're losing fast? Maybe, but I'd say there's a lot of sustainability in this deck list. So if we're up against mid-range or control... I'd say mid-range would be our best bet. Control, like the further we get into control, we don't have like haste or anything, so top decking creatures, they just continue to control us. Mid-range, on the other hand, I feel like we can keep up with like the card draw and everything, or whatever engine they're generating on the board. Opponent goes first. This is much better than the last hand. We can't complain about this. The hands have been beautiful, man. Okay. I'm going to start with Descendant of Storms over the Dragon Sniper here, and try for Voice of Victory swing next turn. Or, Voice of Victory swing with Descendant. Glass Casket. You monster opponent. Okay. Voice of Victory is probably better than the Vanguard. But we have to just anticipate more removal here too. But I'm pretty sure we'd rather them remove the voice. Just a synthesizer. Voice of Victory gets to stick around. A lot of their removal is probably just going to be on their turn anyways. So they're not too worried, I guess. Might try to draw and trash the town. And then see if we can find mana. Yeah, they're tapped out. Might as well do it now. Let's find mana, guys. Draw 2. There we go. Now, Defend the Rider is pretty good. Alright, we'll keep Defend the Rider open. A little bit of a tough decision based on what we're up against, but the Dragon Sniper should be excellent versus their big old chunky constructs. The question is, how much will we actually be able to get through? Oh, crap, dude. Oh, I hope they miss. Oh, crap. Oh, dear. Oh, Perilous Snare, Clay-Fired Bricks. So we do go for the Hexproof for the voice. That protects that. They get a 5/5 construct. Clay-Fired Bricks brings them back up to 19. You know, we have 4 Sheltered by Ghosts in this deck list, and I don't think we saw it today, did we? I don't think we did. I mean, that would be the most ideal thing. All right, Anointed Peacekeeper. We have to stop the United Battlefront #2. There it is, guys. It's in their hand, ready to go. A repurposing bay is also there. A Mightstone Weakstone? Oh my goodness, dude. Okay, well, we're in danger, bro. Even if we could find the Sheltered by Ghost, they're going to keep their construct around because we want to pick up the synthesizer to stop the other nonsense too, right? Like, we want to stop the generation of the construct. So even so, they're going to keep this big old chunky construct unless we find even more removal. Not a lot packed in, just the Sheltered, so. They're actually 1 mana away from a 6 mana, or yeah, 6 mana United Battlefront. Should be pretty good. Outside of that, -5/-5 on the Peacekeeper brings the Battlefront back down. They generate another construct. They do go for the swing. I accept that trade. Oh, they decide not to. Another Anointed Peacekeeper. Let's see what they do with the Dragon Sniper. This is another, like, the second Trash the Town would actually be excellent here, right? Because it is really easy to get that Dragon Sniper through. I hope that card we don't know about isn't mana. It was not mana. That's good. United Battlefront. Second Dragon Sniper. Let's get there, Dragon Snipers. Let's get there, buddies. Just 9 more turns of Dragon Sniper swings and we'll be good to go. Yeah, but every turn they're going to be generating a construct here for at least a couple more. Oh, that's right. They can actually do both of those things this turn anyways. Because Mightstone Weakstone is ramping them. They didn't need the 6th mana. Mightstone Weakstone, repurposing bay. Now they still have 4 open for the braided net as well. The opponents have been bringing some pretty fun things to the table, honestly. You know what I mean? I haven't seen that much synthesizer since Dragonstorm. They go ahead, take the Peacekeeper. They do go for the swing. I'll block 1 and I'll swing with the other Dragon Sniper next turn. I'm pretty sure we're like super out of this game, but yeah, even a Sheltered by Ghost now, we still don't see it, but if we did, even now, it wouldn't be enough. Go ahead, call United Battlefront. Again, 2 braided nets, guys. And again, they could totally play both of those if they want, but now that they got the repurposing bay, I suppose they're probably going to be doing that a lot on their turns too. We can actually, yeah, it's still best to call the Battlefront, right? I guess we can swing at the Dragon Sniper. We probably should have done that first. Get those constructs off the board. And now we're going to be forced into blocks, and I'm going to try to play it out fully. Just to see what we can actually find off the top here. Oh, actually, guys, they can just tap both of our creatures. So we don't have any blocks anyways. Oh, man. Good game, opponent. Yeah, we kind of got picked apart here. This would have been a great one to actually have Get Lost as well, even though it doesn't hit artifacts. Cleaning up some of these extra constructs would have been pretty good. We just don't have too much removal. Some bite spells could also be a potential for this deck list, since we do have the Death Touch on the Dragon Sniper. You're just not always going to see the Death Touch on the Dragon Sniper. And so sometimes if you bite with another 1 power creature, it's just not going to feel that great, you know? End of video pack. We got, ooh, wild card. I like seeing that. That's pretty fun. All right, guys, here's the deck list again. I am pleased. I think it performed. I think it did the thing nicely. Even if I didn't perform, I think the deck list knew what it was doing. Yeah. I like all the cards here. And look, it's really nice and clean. A lot of 4-ofs, a lot of 2-ofs. It's just like it's really nice to look at. You know what I mean? It's just clean. Everything about it's clean. I like the mana. The mana was so good today for some reason. there's some days where I spend so long on a mana base and then it just doesn't do the thing that I want it to do. And I'm just like, I don't know why it's not working. But then this one, I feel like I put this mana base together so fast and then it just did really well. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. I think the double Fabled Passage makes a lot of sense here to make sure we're grabbing the extra basics out. So over half of our mana base is going to power up the Hushwood Verge. And then even then, we still have the early Razorverge Thicket, of course, and then the Cavern still being able to mana fix for our humans. It was good. The mana base was really, really good here. Some really neat things like King Darien not just boosting humans, boosting everything, including the warriors from the Voice of Victory, is actually really cool and really aggressive. But then King Darien just being a human in and of itself means if you have a Vanguard or two down, you're given that King Darien the extra ward, which always goes the extra mile, especially in a deck list that knows how to protect its creatures so well, whether it is the ward on this or ward on Sheltered or Hexproof Indestructible from Defend the Rider. And don't forget, guys, with Defend the Rider, at an instant speed creature on the board can protect your important creatures versus sacrifice abilities like Momentum Breaker. If it comes down versus your like one Anointed Peacekeeper or something, you could totally defend the rider at the pilot and sacrifice the pilot, which is just pretty darn cool, isn't it? The Trash the Town being extra card draw for just 2 mana is going to be good, but then there's going to be other times where it's like 4 mana and you're going to draw 2, but you're also plugging 2 counters onto another creature as well. So Trash the Town could be our top end. I like it enough to consider 3. And if I go 3, I'd consider dropping maybe a Melira, but that kind of feels bad too because a 2 mana 3/3 human's pretty darn good, especially with that bottom ability where you can exile. And we actually got to see this come into play today, which was neat. We choose another target creature or artifact. When it's put into the graveyard this turn, you return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. And we got to protect our Surrak, which is it's like a much better card to keep around on the board than the Melira. So that was really neat. And then we ended up top decking another Surrak anyways, but still, it was still worthwhile, I would say. A lot of extra card draw packed in. A lot of ways to keep up pace with mid-range. Now, it's not going to be as aggressive as like the super hyper aggressive mice builds and whatnot. And I guess we can consider the Izzet Quarry Steelcutter pretty hyper aggressive as well, but some of them try to lean a little tempo too, which makes a lot of sense to me. I have seen a couple play Spell Pierce against me, which Spell Pierce is one of those counter spells, man. I'm always surprised we don't see more of it, and when the opponents do play it, it just always lands. So, yeah. I mean, we can't call this a deck list tempo by any means, but when we are up against tempo, we should be okay. Is there anything else to say, guys? Yeah, Descendant of Storms, the Endure ability on this, there's other human 1/1s, or 2/1s that we could have chosen. Let's go to creatures. Let's go 1 mana. Let's type in human. And there's other good ones that we could have chose for sure. Like the Recruitment Officer is a pretty darn good one. And that's another way to actually see more of our creatures and whatnot. So easily could trade in Recruitment Officer at any number for any number of Descendant of Storms. So if you want like 3 officers, 1 Descendant, you could totally do that. Or maybe that's all your collection has or something. So that would be fine. But I do think that the Endures on this is going to come in handy way more than you would ever expect. So I really like Descendant of Storms, and I expect I'll be playing a lot more of it as time goes on. We also have Veteran Survivor as another human that is a 1 mana 2/1, has that survival. So if you need a little bit of graveyard hate, maybe you're seeing a lot of Reanimator or something, Veteran Survivor could be a good one. Of course, another reason just to play the 4 Descendants is just to play with new cards too. Just test them out, see how it goes against the meta and whatnot. And then it's going to be your choice with Dragon Sniper, but a 1 mana 1/1 that fits the human theme, but it also has 3 keyword abilities. Vigilance, Reach, and Death Touch is no joke, and especially in a deck list that knows how to boost the Dragon Sniper to some extent. Now, in this deck list in particular, we're not boosting the toughness too often. King Darien helps with that, extra +1/+1 counters on Trash the Town. But outside of that, we do have the ability to give Indestructible off the Defend the Rider, which could be a great combat trick. but Coppercoat Vanguard boosting the power and Sheltered by Ghosts boosting the power on a Vigilance creature, if nothing else about the Sniper works with just boosting the power, the Vigilance happens to be really good in a lot of different matchups. Where if you're able to swing in but still defend yourself versus Slickshot Show Off or something, that could really mean the difference between life and death, especially against the Slickshot Show Off Quarry Steelcutter builds. I like it, man. I like it. I really like the deck list showcased itself beautifully. I do apologize again for having to pause the video so much and whatnot. And I apologize again for potentially not playing to the best of my ability either. So hopefully I still played it out well enough. And like I said, at least the deck list played itself well enough. I really do think it showcased something here. So, all right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.